Aren't you tired of looking for a job and they talking about they want 2-3 years experience, 4 years experience, and you thinking to yourself, how am I supposed to get experience if nobody will hire me with no experience, right? I get it. It's like saying, we're looking for someone to take an entry-level role who's been working since 2019. Make it make sense. But real talk, here's what a lot of people don't realize. A lot of people aren't getting stuck because they've never had a data analyst title. They're getting stuck because they don't know how to take what they've already done and show an employer, I can do this job. And I know this works because I've watched my own students do it. I've had a few students go from trucking to being a data analyst, database developer, Power BI developer, and I'm going to explain how they actually did it, because once you understand this, you're going to look at your own experience completely different. First off, what's going on? My name is Bill, aka Sub-Zero. I run Lift in the Veil IT Academy, and I know what you're sitting up here thinking. So, who's going to hire me? I've never been a data analyst. This video is for you because the first thing we're going to talk about is how you view your experience. Okay, first things first. I want you to stop automatically telling yourself, I don't have any experience. Because a lot of people have more relevant experience than they realize. Here's what I mean by that. When people hear the word experience, they immediately start thinking about a job title. They think, well, I've never had the job title data analyst before, so none of my previous experience counts. And that's where people make mistakes, because I'm not asking you to look at your old job title. I'm asking you to look at the work you actually did. There's a difference. Maybe you worked in banking, retail, healthcare, education, customer service, logistics, management, insurance, trucking, whatever. Have you ever looked at the numbers and made a decision, tracked performance, created reports, compared this month to last month, tracked inventory, worked with budgets, tracked deliveries, monitor customer complaints, measured employee performance, use Excel to figure something out? Because that's where I want you to start. Stop looking only at the job title. Look at the actual work. That's the shift. You might look at your previous career and realize, wait a minute, I've been analyzing information, identifying problems, tracking performance, and making decisions for years. You just never called it data analytics. And that's what I meant to tell you. You may have more relevant experience than you know. Actually, I'm thinking about this one student who came to me from trucking with no data experience whatsoever. And when we started looking into what he had actually done in his previous career, we found things that could translate into data analytical experience. Then he learned the technical side, SQL, working with data, reporting, and just as importantly, he learned how to present what he knows. And guess what? He landed a data analyst role with a company out in Charlotte. Think about that. He had just been trucking, driving trucks. That's why I don't want you to immediately tell yourself, nobody will hire me because I don't have any experience. He didn't magically wake up one morning with 5 years of experience on his resume. What changed? He developed the technical skills. We identified transferable skills he already had. He learned how to demonstrate what he could do. He learned how to tell his story. That's the part people don't understand. Because if he had walked in the interview and said, well, I'm a truck driver and I don't have any experience, what do you think they would say? You just rejected yourself. Instead, we want them to understand this. Here's where I came from. Here's what I've learned. Here's what I've done. And here's why I believe I can help your company. That's a completely different conversation. And that's what I mean by transferable experience. And I really want to harp on this for a second. Stop thinking in only job titles. Start thinking in skills and problems you solve. Because employers don't hire a job title, they hire a person. And your job is to connect the dots for them. So you go from old career to transferable skills, to new technical skills, to proof, to data analyst. That's the bridge. And once you understand that, the next 3 steps make a lot more sense. I'm going to move through these quickly because I've actually made other videos where I go into more depth about this. Look, I'm gonna keep it 100. Your old career gives you transferable experience, great. But you still need to prove you develop the technical skills. That's where projects come in. SQL, Power BI, real business problems, not just, look, I made a chart. Your project needs to show, here's the problem, here's what I did, here's what I found, here's what I recommend. That's it. I just published an entire video breaking down 3 projects you can build, so I'm not going to spend all day up here talking about that. The important thing for this video is to understand why you need them. Your old experience tells them, I understand business. Your projects tell them, and I can use these new technical skills too. Put those 2 together, now you're becoming interesting. All right, now here is where I'm going to say something that's a bit controversial. When you're trying to get a data analyst position, I want your resume to look like you're trying to get a data analyst position. That sounds obvious, doesn't it? But it's not. I've seen a bunch of people spend months learning SQL, Power BI, then send out a resume, and the first thing the recruiter sees on the resume is truck driver, school teacher, retail associate, customer service representative, police officer, and then somewhere down at the bottom they say SQL, Power BI. Guys, what job are you applying for? That's what I want to know. You have to understand what your resume is for. The resume isn't there to tell somebody what you've been doing since you was 18 years old. The resume is a marketing document. Its job is to get your phone to ring. So when my students are preparing for data analyst positions, we focus their resumes on their relevant technical experience: SQL, Power BI, reporting, data analysis, projects, hands-on work, business problems they solve. That's what I want the recruiter seeing. Your resume should match the job you want. Not every job you've had deserves equal space on your resume. If something from a previous career isn't helping demonstrate why you're qualified for the position you're applying for, don't put it on your resume. Because you've only got a few seconds to get the recruiter's attention. You don't want them sitting up there trying to figure out, is this person trying to get a truck driving position or write SQL? You want it obvious. This person works with data. And this is also where the way we train at Lifting the Veil IT Academy becomes important. At Lifting the Veil IT Academy, we have an apprenticeship program, and there's a reason for that. I don't want my students only being able to say, I took a SQL class. That's not enough for me. I want them getting hands-on experience doing the type of work they're going to be expected to discuss when they're interviewing. So through the apprenticeship, they're working with SQL, they're working with data, they're building reports, they're working with Power BI, they're solving problems. They're getting experience actually doing the work. And that gives them relevant experience so they can put it on their resumes as an apprenticeship, along with the technical work they actually completed. So now when a recruiter looks at their resume, they're not spending the first 10 seconds reading about some unrelated career. They're seeing SQL, Power BI, data analytics, reporting, hands-on technical experience. That's the conversation I want them having with you. And this goes back to the student I told you about earlier. He came from trucking, but when he was ready to pursue a data analytics position, the focus became, what can you do now? He developed the technical skills, he got relevant hands-on experience, he learned how to present that experience, and he landed a data analyst position with a company in Charlotte. That's why I'm so big on giving people a way to get relevant experience before that first full-time position. And another thing, don't use learning as an excuse to never apply for a job. This happens all the time. Student learns SQL, they learn Power BI, then all of a sudden, maybe I need Python. Then they go study Python. Then all of a sudden, maybe I need AWS. Then they go learn that. Then next thing you know, I need machine learning. The next thing you know, they're in their garage trying to build Optimus Prime. Guys, for many data analyst positions, you just need to be strong at the fundamentals. SQL, Power BI, Excel, working with data, solving business problems, communicating what you found. Can you continue learning? Absolutely, you should. But at some point, you've got to get in the game. So basically, in summary, if you're trying to become a data analyst without professional data analyst experience, here's what I want you to remember. You may not even be starting from zero. Look at what you've already done. Find the transferable experience. Develop the technical skills you're missing. Build proof, learn how to present it, and then give yourself a chance. Because I've seen a bunch of students go from trucking, working in factories, driving Uber, to getting jobs as data analysts, database developers, Power BI developers, multiple jobs. So don't reject yourself before the company ever gets a chance to look at you. And if you're saying, sub, I understand what you're saying, but I need somebody to help me put it all together. Well, that's exactly what Lifting the Veil IT Academy is for. We teach you live. We teach you SQL. We actually let you share your screen. We actually let you go in and we give you labs. You got study groups. We got Facebook groups. We do a lot of different things that help put people in the right position to win. So if you need help, go to www.ltvacademy.com. Check us out. And guys, while you're here, check out our video, Why Your Data Analyst Resume is Being Ignored, 3 Projects That Will Fix It. That's why I break down 3 projects you can use to prove your skills. Thank you guys. Have a blessed day.